Have you been thinking about moving to Spain? Maybe even living in Spain for a year? Hey, what's up? How's it going? Welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things language and culture. My name is Kevin, and today I wanted to share with you all about the program I first used to come live in Spain as an American for a year, and that program is called the Auxiliares de Conversación Program. Now, you might have heard of this program before, you might have not. This video is for all of you because I'm going to give you guys the laydown about what this program is all about. So, without further ado, let's start with the first question. What is the Auxiliares de Conversación Program? This program goes by many names. You might hear it as the Spanish Aux Program, the English Language Assistant Program, the Ministry Program, the North American Language and Cultural Assistance Program. That's the long name that you'll see on the website. But they all boil down to the same thing in the end. And in Spain, it is recognized as the Auxiliares de Conversación. Now, what is this program? Well, this program is hosted by the Spanish Ministry of Education, and it allows citizens of certain English-speaking countries to come to Spain, live in Spain, and work as a language assistant in the public school system. In a sense, it's a sort of cultural exchange that allows Spanish students to be in contact with a native English speaker and learn about some foreign cultures. In turn, it allows foreigners to come to Spain, move to Spain, and experience what is life in Spain really like. Now, this program runs from October 1st to either May or June, depending on the region you are in, and application periods start around January or February of the school year before. Who should do this program? Well, people join this program for a variety of different reasons. One, maybe you're into education, you want to be a teacher someday, but you don't know what it's like. Well, this is a great opportunity to teach English in Spain and get your feet wet. You'll see what it's like to work in a classroom or work with children. And this is without the full responsibilities of a full-time teacher. Now, others might be interested in living abroad and living in Spain. So this is a great opportunity to be able to stay in Spain for more than 3 months because it'll give you the visa and residency permit to do so. Otherwise, you cannot stay in the country for more than 3 months. Now, there are others that want to work on their Spanish and utilize the Spanish that they learn. So this is an opportunity to be in a Spanish-speaking country and really utilize and practice and improve your Spanish. Finally, there are others that want to really travel Europe. And this is kind of related to the second point, that it'll allow you to stay in the Shenzhen area for more than 3 months. Spain is a great hub to get to the rest of Europe because the flights are much shorter and cheaper. Also, you have plenty of time in this program because you're going to have a 3-day weekend with lots of holidays. So there's going to be lots of opportunities to travel if that is your interest. What are the requirements? Now, this will vary depending on your home country, so make sure you are looking at the details for your country for this program. In this video, I'm going to be giving you the requirements for a US citizen, and I'll leave a link in the description below. So, for a US citizen, you need to have a valid passport. You need to either have a bachelor's degree or be a sophomore, junior, or senior in a bachelor's degree program, or have an associate's degree, or be in the final semester of community college. Next, you need to have a native-like level of English. You need to be in good physical and mental health condition. You need to have a clean background check, and you need to be between the ages of 18 and 60. Now note, you do not need to have a degree in English or education, and you do not need to have experience teaching or teaching English. What are the responsibilities? As an Auxiliar de Conversación, you are an assistant in the classroom, so be prepared to work with your teacher about how you might best fit in the classroom. Usually this amounts to a couple of things. You're going to be giving English speaking practice and holding dialogues with the students. You're going to be going over different assignments and activities with them in English. You're going to be giving presentations about your home culture, your home country, maybe creating games and playing games with the students. The main idea is that you're going to be speaking English as much as possible in the classroom to give the students exposure to a native speaker. As for the logistics, you're going to be working 4 days a week. They will give you the long weekend, so you'll have either Friday or Monday off. And then they are 12 to 16 classroom hours, but you will be doing a little bit of work outside these hours, creating presentations, creating games for the students. Also note that there is some dead time between classes, so you may be in school for more than those 12 to 16 hours. Overall, it's quite a light schedule, so you'll have plenty of time to travel, plenty of time to go on adventures, plenty of time to study Spanish, so don't worry about that. What's the pay like? You will be receiving a monthly stipend of around 700 to 1,000 euros depending on the region you are placed in. I was placed in Madrid, and in Madrid you get paid the most. It is 1,000 euros a month. In other regions you get paid less, and they will be around 700 euros if I am not mistaken. In general, that should cover your basic expenses, so rent, utilities, and food, and you should be able to live here fine. The cost of living in Spain is much lower than the cost of living in the United States. But I will say this but. I would recommend that you come with some savings, definitely an emergency fund. Some regions have had issues with paying on time, so I would come with enough savings to tie over to at least December. Also, if you do plan on traveling a lot, this stipend is probably not going to be enough to cover that, so be prepared to either bring savings or take on a lot of private tutoring classes or some other income to be able to do so. How to apply. I'm going to leave a link in the description below to the official application instructions, but I wanted to share with you all a couple of key takeaways and tips that I learned about the process. So tip number one is to not worry about your preferences except for your 3 regional preferences, your 3 autonomous communities. And that is because the ministry does not care about your preferences. They're going to place you where they need to. However, they will do their best to honor your 3 regional choices. Now know that this is not guaranteed. Some regions only accept a handful of auxes, while others like Madrid will accept over 1,000 auxes. Also, this varies year by year and no one really knows how many people they will accept. But know that they will do their best to place you in one of your 3 regions that you chose. Tip number 2, that is to apply as soon as possible, because this is a first come first serve program. The earlier you apply, the more likely you get placed in the program, and the more likely you get placed in one of your 3 regional choices. The application period for 2022 is February 1st to April 7th, so that is coming up. I would recommend that you get your applications ready by then. One thing to note is that if you do apply later, don't worry. I do know a lot of people that did get into the program after applying late. I personally applied 1 month into the application period and I still got into the program. But just know that your odds are slimmer the later that you apply. Finally, tip number 3 is to get your documentation prepared ahead of time. You're going to need a photocopy of the main page of your passport. You're going to need a copy of your transcript or diploma. You're going to need to write a statement of intent, a statement of purpose, and sign it. And finally, you're going to need a letter of recommendation from either a professor or an employer. So that is something you can do before the application period opens, and I would recommend you do that as soon as possible. That's pretty much it. Some final recommendations. There is a Facebook group with a large Aux community. I would check it out. There's a lot of useful information there, and you can ask some questions, and a lot of people are willing to help each other out. Also, do your research. There's a lot of things that change throughout the year and change from year to year, so make sure you stay up to date on the latest information. Now, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button because it really helps a small YouTuber like myself grow my channel. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. Other than that, stay tuned because there's gonna be lots of cool content on life in Spain and the Spanish language coming up in this channel. Take care, be happy, be healthy, stay healthy, and I will see you later. Goodbye.